April 1774. 11 years have passed since British victory in the 7 Years' War, and since that moment, ties between the 13 colonies and the motherland have been under increasing strain. Much of the dispute is over the British Parliament's right to tax the colonies, a right fiercely contested by many colonists. But it is also a conflict over sovereignty, about who governs in North America on the frontier, and for all colonists who have a stake in westward expansion. There are added reasons to resent the British government. This is where the 7 Years' War, known locally as the French and Indian War, had started. The first shots were fired in 1754 in Ohio country by troops under the command of a 22-year-old Lieutenant Colonel George Washington.
I watched them fight and die in the name of freedom.
War, the British hoped to end clashes with Native American tribes and bring peace to the frontier. And so in 1763, a royal proclamation is issued imposing limits on further westward expansion beyond the Appalachian Mountains into the land now termed Desolate Indian Territory. In the spring of 1774, the British sent 4,000 troops to garrison the colony and pass a series of measures known as the Coercive Acts. The governor is replaced by a new military governor, General Gage. Boston's port is closed to commerce by Royal Navy blockade. Representative assemblies in Massachusetts are limited, and it becomes easier for British troops to requisition housing throughout the colonies. The British government also passes the Quebec Acts to appease French Canadians. Catholicism is to be tolerated in Canada, but to the ire of staunch New England Protestants. Large tracts of Midwestern land are also allocated to the province of Quebec, further antagonizing American colonists who had their eyes on the land. In America, the coercive acts quickly become the intolerable acts, and the effect is the opposite of that intended. The colonies rally in support of Massachusetts and in defiance of the latest act of Fecti. We ask but for peace, liberty, and safety, your royal authority over us, and our connection with Great Britain. We shall always carefully and zealously endeavor to support and maintain. If we were base enough to desire it, it is now too late to retire from the contest. There is no retreat but in submission and slavery. Our chains are forged. Their clunking may be heard on the plains of Boston. The war is inevitable, and let it come. I repeat it, sir. Let it come. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death. The following month, General Gage receives orders to disarm the local militia and arrest its leaders. He targets a small town 20 miles from Boston called Concord, where he believes Patriot munitions and stores are stockpiled. But the Patriot militia know the British are coming, and the long simmering standoff between Britain and its colonies is about to explode into open warfare. The 19th of April 1775, around midnight, 700 British infantry, drawn from elite grenadier and light infantry companies, crossed Boston Harbor in boats and begin their march to Concord. They are led by 51-year-old Colonel Francis Smith, who's been stationed in America for 8 years. His operation is supposed to be secret. The route has been carefully planned, and British scouts and spies patrol the countryside. But the Patriots have their own spy network in Boston. And before the British have even left the city, several Patriot horsemen, including Paul Revere, have ridden out to raise the alarm across eastern Massachusetts. In Lexington, militia captain John Parker is alerted to the approaching British column. He gathers 80 militiamen on the village green to observe their advance. Around dawn, at 5 a.m., the head of the British column arrives. Redcoat officers order the militiamen to lay down their arms. Shouts and jeers are traded, and then a shot rings out. From which side, no one knows. In an instant, the British regulars unleash a flurry of musket fire. The militia scatter, running for cover. 8 lie dead or dying. Just 1 British soldier is wounded. This small skirmish, lasting only minutes, is the first clash of the American Revolutionary War. The British march on to Concord, but the element of surprise, the one they were counting on, was lost hours ago. When they arrive, most of the Patriot stores are already gone or removed. The British spread out across town, destroying whatever they can find. But they're not alone for long. To the north, a large militia force begins to gather on a hill overlooking Concord. Among them are several companies of the now legendary Minutemen, handpicked from nearby towns, ready to fight at a moment's notice. They're 400 strong, and they outnumber the British detachment at North Bridge 4-1. Tension is rising. Rumors swirl of a massacre in Lexington, and now smoke rises from Concord. The militia are agitated on edge, and their commanders are under pressure to act. Militia Colonel James Barrett gives the order advance to the bridge. Both sides have strict orders do not fire first. But as the militia approach, the British grow nervous, and then a ragged volley cracks through the air. The militia fire back. A few men from each side fall, dead or wounded. Then the unexpected happens. The outnumbered redcoats break ranks and run. The militia, shocked at how quickly it turned, don't give chase. Instead, a tense standoff begins again, now with bodies lying cold on both sides. Watching from Concord, Colonel Smith sees what's coming and realizes he's in real danger. By noon, Colonel Smith knows he has no choice. He orders the retreat. His battered force must get back to Boston, but it's already too late. Thousands of Patriot militia are now lining the road, and as the redcoats march, the ambushes begin. From behind trees, stone walls, and fences, militia open fire, aiming for officers. Several are hit, some don't make it. The British, desperate and angry, break into nearby homes, hunting for rebel marksmen, bayoneting anyone they find inside. What started as a mission turns into chaos, a shambolic retreat under constant fire. Finally, at around 2 p.m., they reach Lexington and Salvation reinforcements from Boston. 1,000 fresh troops under Lord Curzon with 2 cannon. The redcoats are bloody exhausted, but they're not done yet. But now the British face a new nightmare. Nearly 4,000 Patriot militia closing in fast. Lord Passy orders his 2 cannon into action. The thunder of artillery scatters the rebels, buying the redcoats precious time. This time the retreat is more disciplined. Passy leads a fighting withdrawal, column by column, but the Patriots don't let up. Snipers harass them from the woods and fields, picking off men as they go. As they near Boston, the redcoats swing east, trying to avoid another militia force gathering near Cambridge. Finally, around nightfall, they stumble into Charlestown, exhausted, bloody, furious. Many have been marching and fighting for nearly 24 hours. The British mission to Concord is a failure, but the war for American independence has just begun. All told, the British have lost 73 men killed and 173 wounded. The Americans 49 killed and 39 wounded. It was nearly much worse for the British. As Lord Percy later reflects, I had the happiness of saving them from inevitable destruction. And of the colonial militia, he offers a chilling warning. Whoever dares to look upon them as an irregular mob will find himself much mistaken. They have men amongst them who know very well what they are about. By the standards of 18th century warfare, the battles of Lexington and Concord are small, but their impact is massive. For the first time, British soldiers and American colonists have shed each other's blood. The Rubicon is crossed. There is no going back now. The American Revolution has begun. Then there's the wealthy merchant John Hancock of Massachusetts. And in June, they are joined by the young lawyer Thomas Jefferson of Virginia. But Congress's most urgent priority is to form a united continental armies that can stand against the inevitable British response. It is obvious that the large militia forces around Boston will be the army's foundation. But who will lead them? For many in Congress, there's only one man for the job, the 43-year-old Virginian delegate George Washington. He is well known for his patriot views and admired for his military service in the French and Indian War. As a not-so-subtle reminder of his credentials, the 6'2" Washington attends Congress in his Fairfax militia officer's uniform. John Adams, who nominates him for command, also believes appointing a Virginian to command New England troops will bolster the colony's unity. On the 15th of June 1775, Congress unanimously approves Washington's appointment as Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army. He agrees to serve without pay, only expenses. Yet he, like many Americans, is dismayed by the prospect of war. Unhappy it is that the once happy and peaceful plains of America are either to be drenched with blood or inhabited by a race of slaves. Sad alternatives, but can a virtuous man hesitate in his choice? Many delegates will question the decision to give Washington command, but ultimately it will prove one of the best decisions ever made by Congress.